This story is by somebody who is the author, Carle, and he's also the illustrator. So he's the author, he wrote the words and made up the story. And he did the art. He drew the pictures. He likes to use ripped up pieces of paper and he makes collages, kind of. The Tiny Seed by Carle. It's autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? Where are they all going? One of the little seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Oh no, don't want to be that one. I think the tiny seed is that one. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. I think this is the tiny seed here. This is the seed that landed in the snow where it was too cold. Now they fly over the ocean, and one seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. So, I don't see where that one seed went. So you don't want to be the seed that goes in the ocean. It's too wet. One seed drifts down into the desert. It's hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. All right, so now it's too dry. There's the tiny seed. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. And a bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It's so small, the bird doesn't even see it. So this bird ate that one, and I'm pretty sure that's the tiny seed. Boy, sometimes it's okay to be tiny. Now it's winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down and they look just as if they're going to sleep on the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats the seed for its lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Miss O'Brien can't see it either. I think it might be that one. What do you think? Now it's spring. After a few months, the snow is melted. It's really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, the rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. And now they're not seeds anymore, they're plants. First they send roots down onto the earth, and then their little stems and leaves, they begin to grow up towards the sun and the air, and there's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally it starts to grow into a plant. Okay. So you don't want the weed that takes over. It's kind of like being a bully to the other plants and hogged all the water. I think the tiny seed might be that one. So it has dirt, it has the rain, and it has the sun. The warm weather also brings the children out to play, and they too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and he breaks one. Now it can't grow anymore. Boy, this is a tragic story. I wonder if this is the tiny. I don't think the boy meant to step on it. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what's happening? First there are footsteps, and then a shadow looms over them, and then a hand reaches down and breaks off that flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. Well, that's sweet. It's summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on, and it doesn't stop, and the sun shines on it, and the rain waters it, and it has many leaves. And it grows taller and taller. It's taller than the people. It's taller than the trees, and it's taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. And it's a giant flower. That was the tiny seed. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting, and they've never seen such a big, beautiful flower. Now it's autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. This is like representing the wind. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and it bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod pops open, and out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. Look at that. That's the end. That's the end. Or is it the beginning? Remember at the very, 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 very beginning? A bunch of seeds flew through the air. It's like a big circle. Just like everything. Remember, I always tell you everything is a circle. The circle of life. That was a good book.